Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drive Time. I'm Wayne, part of the Graybeards crew there. Just on my way home from work. That I'd waste about 10 minutes of my time and yours talking about gibberish, maybe. I don't know. Kind of crazy things going on. Vehicle wise, hasn't been too much going on. Not a whole lot to report. I had some people ask me about the headliner in my truck. Keep in mind, this was my first attempt at doing a headliner. My lovely bride of almost 39 years helped me with it, and I think the problem was the glue that we used, unfortunately. So now I got to take it all apart again and redo it. Some people said probably just amount of money I spent for the material, the glue, and my time, I would have been better off just buying one from the dealer or factory one to put in there. Anyways, that's why. And it was falling down almost, I don't think it was a couple days. And I may have made some errors doing it because there's some waves in the headliner. But again, it's an old truck. No excuse. I try to keep it nice. Drives me nuts. I just stapled it up in places because I sit kind of tall in here, and if it touches my hat or whatever, my hair, I ain't having it. It's coming down. But just ended up filling up this thing. I'd been driving it back and forth to work. I have another vehicle that I typically been driving. I've had it. It's a 2008. Get this. Ready for this? A Dodge Caliber. It's got 200, I don't remember, 230? Something like that, 230,000 miles on it. It's on its second transmission, but it's at the dealership. It has a lifetime powertrain warranty, meaning the engine, transmission, and whatever else they determined to be powertrain is covered under this lifetime warranty. As long as myself and my wife own the vehicle, those items are supposed to be covered. Well, it started, the transmission, this is, which is from the original to the one that's in it now, the second one. It starts, it's got that CVT crap in it, you know, and it started whining, just making a little, you know, whining sound. I had it serviced, changed filter in it, which it has two filters, we'll say. One is actually a filter and the other one is just a screen. And I changed that probably 60,000 miles ago. I don't know. I'd have to look at the book. I write everything down. It wasn't difficult to change that stuff either, and it seemed, you know, like, again, now it's at 200 and I want to say it's 230 some thousand miles, but I could be off a little bit. Well, the dilemma with it is, I take it to the dealer, say, hey, the transmission's whining. They determine that it needs a new one. Well, that was back, I want to say June or July of last year. Initially, they say, hey, we got a line on one. They're going to ship it to us, yada, yada. Well, it come to find out, they said, well, the dealership that supposedly had one can't find it. That was like in August or September, somewhere in there. And then every time I go back and check with them, they're, it's on back order. We can't get one. It's on back order. Here we are. Now we're into February, and the car's still sitting there. It looks terrible. Excuse me. But just keep in mind, lifetime warranties or warranties are themselves is only as good as the paper that they're written on. Will they eventually fix it? I don't know. The dealer told me, well, don't be surprised you don't get a phone call from the dealership wanting to buy you out of the warranty. And I said, well, that's fine. They can do that, but it's going to cost them. And I'm not taking no piddly ass amount to buy me out of my warranty. But this is what they'll do. They'll just say, oh, we can't get the parts, but whatever. It's just frustrating. Anyways, I digress. I was wasting 5 minutes talking about that. But let me know what you think about warranties. They're not very good, in my opinion. They usually end up still costing you money or time. Like I said, I've been having to drive this vehicle, which I don't mind driving it, but it costs me more money to drive it just for commuting back and forth to work. Whereas I put was 19 gallons of fuel in this. Well, that's almost 2 tanks of gas in that little car, and it gets me around 30 miles to the gallon. It ain't super efficient, but it's way better than this. This does pretty good. If I drive it with a very reasonable, that thing is driving me nuts. It gets around 17 if I'm real, I'm very modest when I drive it. But the car gets me around 30, and I still drive that very modestly. I don't do jackrabbit starts, and I don't let it sit in idle for an extended period of time. But it is what it is, right? But it's costing me extra money just in fuel and wear and tear on this vehicle. I forget what I got on this miles wise. Let's see. I think I'm over 177,000 miles on this vehicle. And I've been driving it for almost 7 months as a commuter, because the other vehicle is in the shop. But that's ridiculous. It is literally ridiculous. I know I can get a transmission for that car. Chrysler has some requirements on the transmission to warranty it, that they're saying they can't just go and get one anywhere that provides a rebuilt transmission for that car. But I am stuck between a rock and a hard place. Well, we'll figure that out. Well, there's something else I want to talk about a little bit real quick, and it really got nothing to do with driving. It's funny if, a couple classmates of mine, I haven't seen them in probably, I've been out of school 42 years since I graduated high school, I think, something like that. And obviously he has some, he doesn't like the current administration. It's not his team. I get it. But he's like, it's still hurting in my wallet. Prices are still high. And I'm like, come on, man. This administration's been in office, 14 days? I didn't hear you crying before. I never see you post anything crying before about how much stuff costs, But I just, crazy stuff like that. I don't understand people sometimes, and I usually make people my business to understand them and read them. I read people pretty well. It's kind of my weird thing that I can perceive what people are thinking or how they are going to perceive things. But yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, is it 14 days enough time for them to turn the economy around, that administration? I don't get it. I get it on your team. I got it. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't agree with a lot of the policies of the last administration. I think the government is overspending stuff. I think the tariffs are a tool, and I think he's using them very well. But we'll see. Time will tell. Let me know what you think. We're going to talk about, I think we're going to try to talk about tariffs. I don't pretend to know a whole lot about them. I understand what they are and how you use them. But let me know what you think of tariffs down there in your comments. Bleep bloop it on down in there. Hey, if you think about it, hey, hit me a like, at least so I know to continue doing these type quick little videos. But see I'm at 10 minutes. I don't want to keep it. I don't want to bore you too much more. Appreciate everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one.